Today on Robin's Kitchen, we'll be making a decadent brioche French Toast Casserole and a California sunrise mimosa. One of the best parts of brunch is the champagne mimosas. And I'm going to make a sunrise mimosa. It's going to have cranberry juice, orange juice, and then the best part, champagne. I'm using a Wilson Creek almond champagne. You can use whatever brand you want. This is what I prefer. I was able to find retailers here in the New Orleans area that carries this champagne. This is a California champagne, but whatever you prefer, that's what you can use. So the first thing we're gonna do, I have like a shot glass of cranberry juice. We want enough. We just need enough. Then we're gonna get this spoon. We're gonna hit the top of the cranberry. We have to hit the cranberry juice. Have to hit the top of it. We're gonna slowly pour orange juice in. And you can see how it separates at the top. See, the orange juice is, flowing up to the top. So you can see the colors separate. Put a little bit more so you can see the orange. Just a little bit more. You can see it separate. Now we're gonna add our champagne. Once that dust settles, look how beautiful that is. Looks like a sunrise or even a sunset. And there you have it, a sunrise mimosa. Cheers. You know what I like to do. I love a good brunch. And being a California girl, in Southern California, two things we like to do. Have a good brunch and wine taste. So what we're gonna do today is make a French toast brioche casserole. I made this casserole last night and it's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. That bread has been absorbing all that goodness, that half and half, brown sugar, cinnamon. I put a little bit of Kahlua in there, wink, wink. But all that has been marrying together. So let me just show you how to make this quick little bowl of goodness, this little dish of goodness. And then we're gonna put a streusel on top and bake it, and baby, woo, you're gonna tear this up. Let's enjoy. We'll need 1 loaf of brioche bread, 5 eggs room temperature, 1.5 cup of half and half. Our spices are nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, and brown sugar. Don't forget your vanilla and our surprise ingredient, Kahlua. The best knife to use when cutting your brioche bread is a serrated knife. We're going to cut our bread into cubes. Ideally, you will want to put your bread out overnight so it can dry, but I forgot to do that. So I'm going to put my bread in the oven. I set the oven at 350 and I baked it for about 10 minutes so it can dry. Think of how you make dressing. You want to dry your bread out. Same concept. Let's assemble the custard. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the eggs to a medium-sized bowl. We're going to whisk the eggs until they're nice and fluffy. Make sure you break the yolks. Everything is well incorporated. So we're just going to continue to whisk until it's nice and fluffy. And then we're going to slowly add the half and half. We want to make sure everything is well incorporated. So keep on mixing until it's nice and fluffy. Yes. We're going to add our spice blend. That's about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. You're going to whisk that together until it's well incorporated. Make sure you get all the spices off the side of the bowl. Make sure everything is well incorporated. I added Kahlua. You do not have to add it. I wanted to add another flavor. I actually added 4 capfuls. You didn't see that part. But add your Kahlua and your vanilla. And then whisk it until it's well incorporated. You have a medium-sized baking dish that has been well buttered. We're going to assemble the bread cubes. It's going to be about 3 layers. You're going to actually see me only do 2 on this video, but it's 3 layers of bread. We're going to make sure all the bread is in there securely. We don't want any spaces. We want bread on every bite. So put that in there. Put it in the sides, wherever you can fit it in, put it in there. Then we're going to pour the custard over all the bread. And we're going to gently push the bread down so all that custard can, get inside the bread. We're going to refrigerate it overnight so all the spices can get in the bread and the crooks and crevices. So the best part of this brioche casserole is the streusel top. I'm going to add some extra goodness to it. You can opt out of it, but I'm going to go all the way because this is brunch. And if I was entertaining, I got to do it big. So let's make the streusel topping for our casserole. So first thing we're going to do, 1 stick of butter. The only reason why we're using a whole stick is because I'm adding some other additional ingredients. So we need this butter to stick to everything. But if you weren't adding the nuts and coconut, all you would need is a half a stick of butter. But I'm adding a whole bunch of goodness. We're gonna add a half a cup of packed brown sugar. Come on now there. Woo! A third of a cup of flour. Bind it all together. I have, I don't even know how much. I'm gonna say this is about a quarter of a cup, a third of a cup of chopped walnuts. Like I said, you don't have to add this, but I like goodness. I like nuts. Okay, and then coconut. You either love it or hate it. I love coconut, so I'm gonna add it. Bloop. It's stuck. So we're gonna mix this all together. Bring this all together, and this is gonna go on top of that casserole, and it's gonna bake, and ooh, that butter is gonna melt, and that coconut's gonna get toasty, and then and that brown sugar, baby. What y'all know? What y'all know? Come on now, let's speed this up. So I finished the streusel. You can see here it's like big chunks. This is gonna go on top of the casserole, and it's gonna be so good. So we're gonna put this on top of the casserole. Use your hands. So make sure you wash your hands. But this is the best tool that God has given you. Your hands. Look. Use your hands. Make sure every crook and crevice gets this streusel. I smell the coconut. I smell the, oh my God, I love coconut. So, but like I said, you can opt out the coconut. You could just do the streusel with just the butter, flour, and brown sugar. You can add some spices if you want. So if you do not add the nuts and coconut, then you're only going to use a half a cup of brown sugar, a quarter cup of flour, and a quarter cup of butter, which is a half a stick of butter. But since I'm adding, the coconut and nuts, that's why I'm using a whole stick of butter, a third of a cup of flour, and a whole stick of butter. But you don't have to add walnuts. You can use pecans. You can use macadamia nuts, because macadamia and coconut, ooh, that'll go good together. Even slithered almonds, And like I said, you don't have to use the coconut. Not everybody loves coconut. Either you love it or you hate it. So I'm going to make sure this is on top of this French toast. Ooh, when that butter melts, it's going to be delicious. So look, this is how it looks. It's going to go in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes. So make sure you preheat your oven. So while you're assembling this, make sure your oven is ready to go, but 350 for 25 minutes. We're gonna take it out, dust a little powdered sugar on it, use some what is it? What do I want to call it? Organic maple syrup, and we're gonna eat this and tear it up, y'all. I know this is beautiful, and it smells like heaven on a plate. I smell the coconut, I smell the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the vanilla, the Kahlua, all that marrying together in this beautiful casserole. And you can see here on the sides, you see the cinnamon, you see the ginger, all those spices are swimming through the crooks and crevices of that bread. It took 30 minutes to bake because I cut my brioche in big chunks. If you cut them in smaller chunks, it will take about 25 minutes. So let's taste this beautiful casserole. Let's taste. Ooh, oh my gosh. That's a big piece. Jesus. And I'm gonna pour a little bit. I have organic maple syrup from Trader Joe's. Just a little. I'm not really a syrup girl. I just want to pour a little bit on there. Oh, Jesus. And then heat your syrup for like 30 seconds in the microwave. It'll be delicious. Let's taste this. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. I cannot wait to serve this at my next brunch. You guys, if you serve this at your brunch, you'll be the hit of the party. Oh, this is so decadent. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Say somebody's having a baby shower or a bridal shower and they're doing a brunch. This is something you can make. Robin, you did this one. I'm gonna give y'all a little piece. Y'all want a little piece? Y'all want a little taste? Take a bite. Take a bite, baby. Ain't that good? Wait a minute. I need a sip. A sip of this. There you guys go. Brunch at Robin's Kitchen. Love you. Mwah. Have a beautiful week.